Welcome everyone to the 67th annual Barkley Forum for High Schools. Each year, the members of the self-perpetuating Gold Key Society, founded in 1964 and hosted by the Barkley Forum, invites a select number of forensics educators from schools across the nation into membership. These teachers represent all the teachers who demonstrate strong leadership, top scholarship, and the highest standards of professional ethics. Please take a moment to read the names of those who have been honored through the Gold Key Society. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the key coaches of the Barkley Forum. When prudent health and safety measures forced the Barkley Forum to move the 2021 Barkley Forums for High School tournament online, we found some solace in the thought that once again we would be able to share our beautiful campus with our friends in the speech and debate community in 2022. And while we are again online this year due to the vigilance of Emory University and others to slow the spread of the Omicron variant, our disappointment pales in comparison to the tremendous amount of gratitude we have for the healthcare professionals who have saved untold numbers of lives due to medical innovation, timely and prudent advice, and compelling advocacy. Unfortunately, hero seems to be a word that's lost some of its intended meaning. It finds its etymological roots in the Greek word that described an illustrious defender or protector. It later took on a meaning as one who exhibits great bravery and sacrifice. Those intended meanings are accurate descriptors of Dr. Carlos Del Rio, a leading infectious disease expert and the Executive Associate Dean of Emory University's School of Medicine. Dr. Del Rio is an exemplary healthcare professional who continues to defend and protect with much bravery and sacrifice. Dr. Del Rio has done nearly 1,000 media interviews with CNN, CNBC, and other media outlets since the outbreak of COVID-19. His public engagement is driven by an understanding that the misinformation surrounding the virus, vaccinations, and mask wearing poses a grave threat to individual families, social cohesion, and democratic governance. A recent study by NewsGuard, which is a nonpartisan organization that rates the credibility of news and information websites and tracks online misinformation. That study revealed over 500 websites have promoted dubious health misinformation and conspiracy theories about the coronavirus. For nearly 2 years now, Dr. Del Rio has answered the call for healthcare officials to humbly engage others in our community with the information that is needed to keep themselves and their communities safe. Dr. Del Rio understands that much of this misinformation is driven by fear and needs to be responded to with a great deal of compassion. However, it must be responded to, even when the response triggers a backlash in some corridors. Dr. Del Rio has reported that while he has received many thank yous for being a voice of reason at this moment in time, his email box contains, unfortunately, plenty of nasty messages and occasionally a few death threats. And yet, he persists. Because of that, he is a hero. Because persisting in times in which you are needed and doing what some in the community may think is heresy is what heroes do. The Barkley Forum believes that it is important for us to show our deep appreciation for those servant leaders who truly understand that our country's promise of freedom can only be achieved when it is nurtured by a commitment to the dissemination of honest and truthful information during our most trying times. For that, we honor Dr. Carlos Del Rio. The Barkley Forum believes that it is important for us to recognize Georgians who understand that Southern hospitality includes the sharing of information that the most vulnerable members of our communities need to survive, even when the truth might be politically and emotionally inconvenient. We honor Dr. Del Rio because he continues to deftly engage in a balancing act of compassionately treating those who are currently ill with the COVID-19 virus while effectively communicating with others in a manner that will prevent them from becoming a future patient. Every year since 1967, the BF has honored an outstanding communicator with the presentation of the Georgia Speaker of the Year Award to honor the power of communication in intelligent, responsible, and effective civic speech. Past recipients have included former Atlanta Mayor and UN Ambassador Andrew Young, United States President Jimmy Carter, founder of CNN and co-founder of the Nuclear Threat Initiative Ted Turner, U.S. Senator Max Cleveland, U.S. Representative and Civil Rights Leader John Lewis, Sally Yates, who is a relentless defender of separation of powers, and last year, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. At this moment, I can think of no one more deserving of being honored for using the capacity to communicate intelligently, responsibly, and effectively for the public good, for the health of all of our communities, than Dr. Carlos Del Rio. The Barkley Forum wants to thank Dr. Rio for reminding us of what it truly means to be a hero. Please join us in thanking this year's Georgia Speaker of the Year, Dr. Carlos Del Rio from Emory University.
Let me join the Emory staff in welcoming you to the 67th Barkley Forum for High Schools. The Barkley Forum has a long history of applying the gifts of debate to make a difference in the community outside of tournament competition. I am honored to be with you today to present an award to a student who has used debate and speech to lead change to promote social justice. Phrases like social justice can, over time, become so nuanced they lose that which they originally sought to capture. The concept is simple. Respecting the humanity of all people is social justice. When people's humanity is disrespected, action to restore respect is appropriate. Simple to articulate, difficult to execute. It is a personal privilege to read the nomination letters. The nominator of this year's recipient captures the profound way she personifies this spirit of the award, and I'm going to share sections from that letter to let you see the value of this work. Our honoree has distinguished herself in starting her school's speech and debate program for middle and high school students, uplifting senior citizens and refugees, and bringing social awareness to her community. Her nominator writes, while she initially struggled along with the other starting 4 members of her debate and speech team, her persistence ultimately inspired 40 students to join, learn, and stay. She works with the younger students to refine arguments and speeches, hone research, and encourage their growth in competition. Beyond her school community, she paid forward the gift of debate for those newly arrived to the United States when she launched a new organization called Borderless Speech and Debate. connecting with local refugees to teach public speaking and leadership skills. She uplifts those who have lost so much. Additionally, our recipient is the founder of a 501c3 nonprofit organization called Music Shines Brightly. On a weekly basis, her nominator writes, she performs music therapy for senior citizens at nursing homes by arranging programs in which her fellow students play for seniors. She has mobilized more than 500 student musician volunteers who have performed more than 5,200 hours of music therapy performances for more than 750 senior citizens. This includes New Jersey, as well as new chapters in Florida, Texas, and California. In honor of her work, she was nominated to be on the Alzheimer's New Jersey Walkathon Committee. Her work helped lead walkathons around the state and raised $120,000 to raise an awareness for Alzheimer's. Finally, our recipient uses her speaking and debate skills to voice her empathy for her fellow humans while empowering those around her. Her nominator writes, yearly our recipient helps organize and prepare the school speech and debate students to speak in her county's diversity and inclusion fair. By talking through topics like emotional and physical well-being, religion, race, and sexual orientation, others are motivated to value the common threads across difference. Our recipient personifies the spirit of servant leadership through her work, using debate to further the welfare of her classmates, senior citizens, and refugees. It is a pleasure to name Annika Parthaban the 2022 Social Justice Award recipient.
Greetings and welcome. We are pleased to invite the following key coaches into membership. The first honoree has been a director of debate at Harvard Westlake since 2006. In that time, he's grown Harvard Westlake into one of the most successful programs in Lincoln Douglas history. They are consistently contenders at all national tournaments, including the Barkley Forum, which they won in 2021. As a coach, this individual is the ultimate professional. He regularly helps out other tournaments with tabbing and setup assistance. While he takes his job seriously, he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's funny and personable and the kind of person you look forward to chatting with in a judge's lounge. Please welcome into membership of the Gold Key Society, Michael Beats from Harvard Westlake. Our next honoree has been described as a superhero who has led Bronx Science speech and debate program and tournaments through some tough times and has been primarily responsible for continuing the program's tradition of excellence. He has gone and done this while being an outstanding father, husband, and senior partner at a major New York law firm. Please welcome into membership of the Gold Key Society, Kirby Chen, honorary member. Our final honoree has been a significant force in Georgia's speech and debate circuit for nearly 20 years. He came to the activity through a different path than most, not as a former competitor, but as a classroom teacher who was so impressed by the interest and passion of his students that he wanted to get involved. He is always willing to be a team player or a partner, to share his expertise, his time, and his spotlight. He doesn't need to be the star. He recognizes that the students are the light we all want to see. Because of his generosity with his time and his spirit, his trust in his colleagues, his faith in the activity, and his ongoing faith in all of our students, he has helped to build and maintain a strong program at Alpharetta High School. and to contribute to the building and maintaining a strong circuit of competition here in Georgia. He served on the leadership team for the Georgia Forensic Coaches Association for a number of years and has quietly committed time, energy, and passion to this activity, all the while continuing to dedicate himself to be the strongest classroom teacher that he can. Please welcome into membership a friend, colleague, and an outstanding human being, and none other than Adam Smiley from Alpharetta High School. Please join me in congratulating all the new members of the Gold Key Society of the Barkley Forum. If you see them in a Zoom room over the weekend, please thank them for their service to the speech and debate community. At this time, this concludes our program, and we hope our tournament experience is an educational and rewarding one. And just remember, the Barkley Forum is not just an event, but it is an experience. Thank you for honoring us with your presence on this weekend.